not me dissociating into the void. Hello, we are here. It is Elle Kennedy live show day, and we are going to be talking about, where did I put it? We are going to be talking about The Score. So this is, as I've said many times and will continue to say, this is my favorite book in the original series and quite possibly my favorite of the whole thing. Granted, I did not reread it because October was a month, but I feel like I know it well enough to jump in and do the thing. So I'm going to put this here. And yeah, like this part all day. So excited to talk about our man, Dean, because Dean, I have a lot of feelings about Dean. I have a lot of feelings about Dean's journey throughout this book. I'm excited to, deep dive into how everybody's feeling. Also, hi, Nat. Hopefully at the November one, you're here to join us. And yes, Dean. Okay, so first of all, how about my brain hurts, y'all. Let's share what we rated this book. I also hope so. It's 3 books before the end of November. And I don't even know when the live show will be. So you got 3 books. Hi, Bree. You should join us. You just got to read 3 books by the end of November. I believe in you. But okay. So for those of you who have read the book, we are, yeah. What did you all rate it? Because I rated it a 5. No questions asked. I did this before I had a fancy rating system, but I think if I put it through the new system, I think it would still be over a 4.75, which would rank it as a 5. Also, I'm going to be multitasking while we talk because I have a TBR to film and cards to cut. Because in my ambition of making my new TBR cards, I may or may not have thrown out the old ones, so I can't even temporarily use those ones while I work. I think I put this one up already, but yes. I love Dean. That's 4.25. Okay. This is valid. I definitely, the journey and the arc is very, very chef's kiss. Yeah, I have also reread it, and I plan on rereading it when I get the pretty special edition in January. And it's so pretty. It's orangey peachy, I think, for some reason. I'm not sure why they chose the colors they chose, but I am very excited. Yes, I have 60-something cards to cut, and I would like to get the whole video filmed before I go to bed. Just getting through the other series because you've never reread those. Makes sense. I reread occasionally, but there's been so much new stuff that I'm putting on my radar lately that I'm just not getting to reread these as much as I would like to. And bye, Nat. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to watch this again when you do read the books, and we'll have lots of things to share. But okay, so let's talk about it. How did we feel about Dean and Allie as a couple and their journey and all of that? I don't want to dive right into Dean specifically as a character because I really could probably talk for hours about how I feel about him. I'm gonna do, but yeah. So, how did we feel about these two? Because for me, personally, I thought it was kind of cool that we were getting Allie as the love interest because of already knowing, like, we already knew her. And I think that was part of this book that spoke to me so much is like, we all know from the last show, I wasn't the biggest fan of Grace. But I think already having gotten, like, for lack of a better word, and not to go smut, but a taste of Allie, I think I was in a better space for these two together than I was for Logan and Grace. Love a couple that acts like they hate each other at first, even though you can see the yearning. Yeah, this part. Like, there was very clearly, sorry, I need to adjust. There we go. There was very clearly something there between them from the beginning. And for them to be like convinced it means nothing when clearly she had a strong impact on Dean and how he felt and how he really viewed everything, because his world was rocked by this woman who was trying to get out of a terrible relationship with a garbage human, to then think she was going with another garbage human who turned out to be not a garbage human at all. Yes, I'm doubling down. I can see this. Like, throughout the book, like, I think more of my feelings about them romantically come from the peaks we get later, and, like, the ending, from what I remember, the way it ended, the way she was there for him and he was there for her, like, I got where it was going, but it was definitely, like, the future that we see of them that had me more, like, locked in. And I think these two, I think, were just a great reprieve for me after Logan and Grace. So I will fully admit I come at it with rose-colored glasses, but I am a big fan. I agree. Like, yeah. Yeah, like, I know exactly which part. Just the way that he was going through all that grief too, and, like, he was a dick. I'm not gonna sugarcoat I'm not gonna sugarcoat but I'm not prepared. I'm not gonna sugarcoat how he was acting, but the way that she kind of tried to stand by, even though she, like, did end up at one point being like, "Nope, I'm done." I don't know. I just exactly. And then you get to see him come back from it. Like, you get to see him try to rebuild himself. I also really liked I always like, but I really liked the backstory elements that we got in this one for Dean specifically. The way that you learn about not just his family stuff, which, like, it's so funny that after the essentially man pain of the first two MMCs, like, you just get Dean, who's just a rich dude doing rich dude things. But then you get, like, all the stuff with his hockey coach, and then you get the bow of it all, and oh my god. I sobbed about Bo. The moment when the guy who tries to act tough and act like a jerk can't hold back how much he cares in those moments when he's terrified of her being hurt or sad. Like, delicious. Yeah, this is one of my favorite elements in a romance, is when it's tough cookie goes gooey for pretty girl that he's in love with. And that really does feel a lot like them. And I'm excited for you guys all to see like where they end up. Hang on, I'm gonna pull these comments up in a second. I just gotta finish this curve. Yeah, it's a very good one. Yeah, this took me for a loop because I read for the original book, I read each of them in a day. And I think it was October 2020 the first time I read it. So I was binging. Like, hang on, let me pull it up because I got the actual dates written down. This one, go here. No, 2022. So October 2nd, 2022, I read The Deal. 22nd, I read The Mistake. 23rd, I read The Score. And actually, a year ago this week, the 29th, I read The Goal. So I read all of these. Where did StreamYard go? There we go. I read all of these within a month. So it just kind of shook me going where we go with Bo so quickly. Yeah, I saw this. I don't want to think about it because I'm not ready. I don't know if I'll ever be ready, but I am most certainly not ready. Yeah, this is what one of my friends told me, and I'm not looking forward to it. But since we've addressed the football player in the room, let's talk about Bo and Dean and that relationship and how we felt about it, because I will be the first to admit I didn't expect it to hit as hard as it did. Like, we knew they were close and we had gotten tastes of Bo. I gotta stop saying tastes. We got bits and pieces of like Bo's story throughout the other books, and not his story, but like his character. And they do make you care about him because he's one of the good ones. He's not like, they make it a point that like the football players at Briar are kind of jerky and not ideal, and then next thing you know, you're falling in love with Bo Maxwell and they're taking him away from you. Like, yeah. I mean, I know someone who will be a lawyer soon. Um, Stop it. Stop it right now. This is not that kind of conversation, even if it's that kind of book. But let's see. We've got, like, yeah, I really cared about Bo, and I remember just sitting in my room reading this book at my desk, crying, and my roommates checking on me because I was just sobbing. Because it really just, it hit you, and then it never stops hitting you because you're seeing Dean's pain, and he's already dealing with, I can't remember the exact sequence of events. I don't remember if the high school coach was before or after or during the death, but then you have that whole element of like, oh God, what is this poor man going through? And just on top of figuring out things with Allie, and just, yeah. I think the other thing about Dean for me, and y'all can agree, disagree, debate, dispute, whatever. But I think the other thing for me with Dean was the fact that he didn't, like, he loved hockey. Like, it's a hockey romance. He loved hockey. But I kind of liked that it wasn't like, I need to stop saying like, it wasn't his end all be all. Like, he wasn't sitting there like, I need to go pro. I need this to be my life story. Which, after the first two, I was starting to wonder if every guy was going to be super obsessed with the sport. And yes, it does become a part of who Dean is in the long run, but it's not like, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, am I the only one who feels that way, or is that more across the board? Give you guys a second to. I agree. I Yes, I agree, because I think they make you, and I mean, obviously with Logan, like, he didn't plan to, like, he had fully planned on not getting drafted. Um, but then obviously we know how that goes. But I think it was nice that Dean from the jump was like, I'm here to vibe with my friends, take out my rage as a D man, and if I play, I play. Um, as much as I like when they're all in and fully dedicated, there's something to be said about not being your entire personality. Yes. And I like for him the route he went with it too. Like, to go with the teaching and coaching, which that is my one flaw with this book, is it is so much work to become a teacher, and he just fell into it. But taking the realism out of my romance for a minute, otherwise I will rage. But like, I don't know, it fit him in a way that I didn't expect it to. Like the way he bonded with those are they I don't know how old they are, but the way he bonded with the girls he was volunteering with, it just was really great. Dare I say, Dean was the start of Elle Kennedy really grasping her series and character development and rounding out her MC's personalities and making them well-rounded human beings. I can see this. I do think Garrett and Hannah were well done as well, and I think Logan was well done. I have my feelings about Grace, but I think like she's always done well with her characters, but I do think this one is when she kind of started not necessarily diverting from the formula, but doing more of like doing more than just a smut book. Because some of her early, I read one of her early books this year from like '09, and it was trash. Not trash. It was a good book. That's not what I was saying. I got distracted by my card. Um, it wasn't trash, but I think it was just way different than what I was expecting having read this series. I think there was a lot going on there. I don't remember. I feel like something had happened at the school. Um, let me see if I can find it, because I think there was like something that happened. Do. Yeah, I think it was purely a punishment because the coach was his ex's dad. Yeah, he dated her and it didn't end well. Um, and I think he expected him making him coach the kids was more of a punishment than it ended up being. I don't think he expected it to I don't think he expected it to impact the way it ended up impacting, in my opinion, from what I remember. Yeah. Like he was just being a protective coach dad, basically. But yeah, from what I just pulled up and what I remember, I couldn't find the exact page, but Coach new coach was Dean's ex's dad. And Dean, being who Dean was before Allie, did not do well. Yes. He saw player Dean, both hockey player and player, and just kind of expected the punishment to be a punishment. He expected Dean to hate it and be miserable, and it didn't end up happening. Dean was good at what he did and ended up changing essentially his entire life plan because of everything here. Also, I can't remember. Did we meet Summer in this book, or do we meet her later? Because I love Summer DeLaurentis, but I just don't remember. I should have reread this, and I know that I'm being a very bad read-along host, but I did not have time this month. I barely am getting through the books that were on my TBR. Okay, good. We did meet Summer. She's hilarious, and I can't wait for us to read about her in more detail. Yeah. Dean was still a kid when he dated that girl. He's been through shit since then. Coach just inadvertently set him up for personal growth, basically. And like, I think he was already going through that growing, like with Allie, and how she was kind of not necessarily challenging him, but like he was already trying to be better to make things work with her, and then this fell into his lap. Yes. Summer is the female main character in The Chase. So the start of the Briar U series is a book of Summer and someone else we've already met. Me too, because I love her MMC as well. But yeah, I think the fact that she calls him Dickie is hilarious to me. I can't remember. I think that's in this book. If not, spoiler alert, Summer calls her brother Dickie. But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, also the iconic pink dildo scene. I'm not monetized, so I can talk about it. But that scene is absolutely iconic, and I think about it often. Winslow. I know it has a name. I should look, but let me just pull that window back up because that would be probably beneficial to have. There it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got the whole story. Yes, Winston. The whole story of the coach. Dean tells Allie what happened. His ex was suffering from mental health issues and pressured him into having sex with her, and later on became quite obsessed and was talking about engagement and things. Dean ended things, and she threatened to unalive herself. So that is why the coach hated Dean. Not to leap back to depression, but yeah. It was one of my favorite things. Like, it was just so funny, and the way they explored it, I just was cracking up. Yes. But we'll get more to that in January. Because today is about Dean, Allie, and the score. Exactly. So, like, the coach isn't necessarily a bad guy, but he isn't looking at the whole story. There's plenty going on there. But yeah. Like, and yeah, exactly. So you don't really think deep into it, but like anyone who has a human heart is going to be like, oh, yeah, I can totally understand what's happening. Oh my God, my body. But yeah, I'm glad that, those of us who are here did enjoy this book. And it seems like overall, and according to the Discord, like people are really enjoying reading the score and enjoying the characters and the story. And it seems like everyone's going through that emotional piece of it because it hits you harder than you would expect a hockey romance to hit, which I love when my books just hit a little bit harder than you think they're going to. But yeah, what else do you guys want to talk about? Because we've got, you know, as long as you guys want to be here, I'm here to chat. Um, we can talk predictions if you guys want, but I think that's also one of the things that started really working for the plot because before I didn't really care about the smaller outer plot lines. I agree. Cuz like yes, I cared about the stuff that was going on, but like I think how it was woven in this one definitely hit different than the first two books. Yeah, well, these two to me are an outlier on so many scales. Um, I will probably reread the first three. Might do like a long form spoiler vlog or something. Who knows? Garrett and Hannah more so, but maybe we're also just very biased against book two. I will fully admit that this could be a thing. I remember caring about I remember caring about Logan's storyline and the stuff with his family, but that's because I am a sucker for any sort of tragic male backstory. I apologize if the scissors are loud. I realize they're right next to the mic. I'm just trying to keep my hands busy so I'm not just staring at the screen waiting for comments to come in. But I think that I just think the okay, good. Yeah. Like I think Logan's storyline carried the book. I didn't care about so much that was happening in Grace's that when we talked about the book, I don't remember half of what happened because I just blocked out so much for Grace. But that's because so much of Grace's story, as we discussed before, happens off page. Liked Logan's storyline enough for someone who suppressed most memory of it. Well, yeah, you have your own things going on. But yeah, back with, Dean and Allie. I like that we're still getting glimpses of the other couples and seeing what they're going through and where they've gotten to at this point. Also, I'm gonna warn Brittany because I think you're the only one here who hasn't read it yet. A lot of the painful stuff that we had to go through in book 3, you are gonna have to relive in book 4. I apologize in advance because book 4 takes a not dual timeline, but like cross timeline. Like it starts in the middle of book 3, which is an interesting choice, but it goes really well. Yes. Especially with the bomb dropped at the end of book 3. Um I remember very much and also very little. So I do plan on trying to get it on my TBR through my game, which I'm almost done with the second color, and then I just have blue and red to cut. And I might play without laminating and then laminate after. Yeah, I want to be better about, I'm hosting the read along and yet not rereading, so I'm not fresh when it's time. But I also have read up until Campus Diaries. I have read up until Campus Diaries, I have read every single Elle Kennedy book in one sitting. And I know that I could do that again if I reread, especially because it's a reread. It's not, yeah. Yeah, you should do that too. I was curled up in a ball at my sister's playing Pokemon all weekend because the new game came out like a week ago and I hadn't touched it. And then we bought it Friday night and I've almost beaten it already. Filmed your TBR this morning. The fact that it's 80% edited is shocking. I'm proud of you. I'm probably going to film tonight, pick books tonight, film me talking about the books tonight, and then I'll probably edit tomorrow when I get home. Oh, no, I also have class tomorrow. Who knows? We'll find out. It's so good, but it's not a mainline Pokemon game. Oh, the DLC for that is great. You know, it's very different from a mainline game, but I personally had a blast. I'm having a blast. Kind of want to play more, but have other responsibilities, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm glad you guys loved the score. I'm excited to get my special edition. Little selfish shout out we got going on there. Yeah. I think the not gold. I think the special edition is like, yeah, it's the, wow, that is really pretty. Hang on, I'm going to send a, yeah, this is a link for the cover of the score. The only thing I don't like about them is all the sprayed edges. Like, it looks like all the sprayed edges are like the same color, which does make me a little sad because you could have made it go better with the cover, but it's fine because it's still beautiful. And like the art on the front goes with each character. Like, for this one, you have, since we're here, we can analyze it. Maybe. Let me go here and here. Yeah, so on the cover, you've got the iconic bubble bath. You've got a New York City skyline, the apple and book cover, the film clapper. Like, there's so much thought that went into these special edition cover. Now that I'm actually looking at the pictures of the special editions. God, I'm so excited to own these. I'm going to cry when I open it. Maybe I'll film myself crying. But yeah, I'm very orange, but I don't care. Maybe I'll suddenly like orange. Whoever wrote this recap that I was using definitely needs to reread the book because they keep calling Allie Alice. Yeah. I'm on pink now, for the record. I just have pink and blue left for cards. But yeah, so we will be doing probably another Sunday show for the goal. I'm thinking as of right now, November 30th, probably either 2 or 4, depending on where I am that weekend. Because this one, part of it got pushed because 1, I wanted people to be able to finish it. But 2, I was at my sister's house and trying to get home by 2 o'clock was just, I wasn't doing it. Yeah, this one I might do a poll for just because of exactly. I might do a poll for this one just because with the American holiday. Ooh, that's exciting. With the American holiday, I know that weekend might be a little bit a lot for some people, but as of right now, I am thinking the 30th. Am I home? I mean, I'm at my sister's either way, but I think no, I'm there. I would be there that weekend either way. But yeah, we will figure it all out. I will make an announcement when I know for sure, and I will definitely give like a couple weeks notice. It won't be like the day before and I'm like, "Hey, live shows tomorrow." Cuz that feels rude. I mean, that does sound like a great time. I will be probably still eating leftovers at this point. And also, like Brittany said, probably also binging the goal the day before. Have it nice and fresh in my head for the live show. But the nice thing is I think they're on KU still, so I can get it that way and not have to worry about carrying around my thick paperback copy. November is packed for you too. Yeah, I don't have a lot going on. I have school and work, and it's not even like I'd be putting it off because I have so much to do. It's just I'd be putting it off because I'm bad at managing my time and my TBRs. I need to get better at it. But yeah. But I think we might wrap it here. And I am going to go film my TBR and hopefully have that out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Oh my God, Hales. Wait, Victoria, like British Columbia? Because my brain went Australia. Okay, British Columbia. You said Victoria and I thought Australia. And I was like, why did I not know about this sooner? But that sounds really, really fun. And I'm excited for you. That's awesome. So are you flying to Portland and then driving from there? Because I know you are like the opposite corner. Going to the Descendants Castle, gonna frolic around Oradon. That's exciting for you. Flying to Portland. Okay. That makes sense. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, you live in the bottom of the country, the bottom right, and you're going to the top left. Like, that's quite the trek. But all right, guys, thank you for coming and talking with me about the score and Dean and Allie and Bo. And I look forward to seeing you guys. I mean, I will talk to you around the internet very soon, and I'll see you. I'm going to finish cutting this so I can have my hand free. I will see you soon. Bye.